Hello everybody and welcome to the 7th week of the ENC Draft League Season 6. Last week we unfortunately lost to the Wilson Whimsicots, but there's no shame in that. Sigtrick is one of the best players in the league. He's currently undefeated, except for a couple game losses to what I think his two hardest matchups are. So yes, having lost that matchup, I actually think that the rest of the season doesn't really matter for me. I guess week 8 does, because I would like to have bragging rights over Colin, so I'm going to lock in then. But ultimately, we're guaranteed playoffs, have 5 wins already. The only thing that could potentially change is the ordering. But, like I just said, Wilson Whimsicots is currently undefeated, and I really don't see him losing either of these two matchups to Charlotte-Zards, which is kind of a mess. I think it's like balance. It doesn't do any one thing particularly amazing, which I guess is kind of exactly how Sigtrick's team is, right? Except I think every thing that his team does, I think it just does it better than the Charlotte-Zards. He's got kind of the same modes, and these Pokemon, you should look at the Pokemon. Every single Pokemon on the Wilson Whimsicots kind of just outclasses its counterpart on the Charlotte-Zards in just terms of base stats. The last one is Grifton Gulpin, which is that G-A-G? No, it's Gateway Glastriers. Or Glaciers. Is it Glaciers? Yes, it is. Grifton Gulpin, the weird core team. I think Sigtrick can figure out some bullshit to beat this team. So I do expect Sigtrick to go undefeated in regular season, which means that I have no chance of catching up to first place. I would still like to be top at least 4 to at least get a say. I guess top 3 is really the only ones that get says in who they pick among the top 8. But right now, it's really up in the air who's going to make it. I expect to see Winterville Weaviles, but then when the next team past 4th place has only 3 wins, they'd have to win out. Let's see. There's 4 teams that have 3 wins. I guess Philadelphia Smeargles could. Let's see. Charlotte-Zards, they are probably losing to Wilson Whimsicots. Okay. Who else is up there? Winterville Weaviles. Do they play Glist? No, but they do play Tick by Joltik, which is one of the 3 teams. So it would take kind of an act of God for them to win, because if I win even a single game, I'm guaranteed at least 3rd place. Yeah, so we just gotta win one of our 2 games to guarantee at least 3rd place and get some say in who we pick. And also, if we beat Colin at all, we're guaranteed, I think, 2nd place. Yeah, because we're guaranteed 3rd place, but if we win out over Colin, well, I guess it could come down to differential. If he wins these 2 and then loses to me here, it comes down to our differential. But my differential is better than his currently, I think. Well, it's because I've lost a game, so I'm up 1 despite being down 1, right? Because I lost a game, but my loss was 2-1, so I'm only 1 behind. So if he ever loses, I guess if he loses 2-1, we'd be tied. But if he loses to me 2-1, then I'd jump ahead. Yes. So we can take a look. This week we are playing the New York Ninetales, and I have that right here. Boom. This team is interesting. It definitely got better than it was upon draft. Because Tomba has added this Dondozo Tatsugiri core, as well as, I think the Armor Rouge was there, but I think maybe he made some other switches. Basically, right, so the idea was Fluttermane first pick, he's right about halfway in the draft, wants Fluttermane. Then, I think 2nd pick was Rayquaza, then, I feel like Gambit may have lived, but just pick some random bullshit like these. I don't know if these guys were there, but this is with the original team. Maybe Armor Rouge was in there too. Then, last pick, Grimmsnarl, he's the one that sniped it from Colin. He's like, oh, I feel like my whole plan will come together once you guys see what my last pick is. Which actually made Colin, very confident in waiting till last pick to get Grimmsnarl, instead of Annihilate. But, then the last pick came Grimmsnarl, and Colin and I are both scratching our heads trying to figure out, what the hell is this plan that he's talking about? It turns out the plan is either Self-Swagger, or I think I told him about Mirror Herb Swagger, to boost Rayquaza. He's like, oh, because Chien-Pao was gone, I needed some way to boost Rayquaza's damage. And then I'm like, Swagger's only +1 priority and E-Speed is +2, so you can't do it on a turn that you E-Speed. It has to be a turn that you're Dragon Ascending. And he's like, oh, it's not good. So he's made some waivers. He's got Dozogiri now, which is a lot scarier, actually. Although, I've run a few practice games, and the biggest problem with Dozogiri in Restricted Draft is that it means you can't bring your Restricted sometimes, because, you think about it, you kind of want Grimmsnarl, most of the time when you draft it. I don't think there's ever a matchup where Grimmsnarl was, bad. I'm struggling to think of one. Screens are kind of just always welcome, and The big thing about Sableye, because I have Sableye in my other draft league, sometimes maybe you wouldn't want the screens if you think you can... Basically, if you think you can win hyper offense without screens is really the only time you wouldn't want it. And even then, it's like, if you can spare the move slot in the turns, or the Pokemon slot in the turns, like, you know, most teams would appreciate it. But in the other one, Grimmsnarl just so much more damage, and Spirit Break is just a really good move, unlike, you know, Foul Play into a special attacker is not doing that much, but Spirit Break into anything, you know, good damage and lowering special attack, that just seems like a no-brainer. Anyway, the Flutter Mane actually gets a little bit annoying with the light screen. Reflect, not so much, because I think I just obliterate it through Reflect regardless, but light screen can be a little bit annoying. Kingambit behind screens is probably one of the bigger threats, but the problem is, that's 3 Pokemon, right? And we're not even including the Rayquaza. So you can't bring all of it and Dozogiri. So I actually think Dozogiri is kind of bad here. I've got like 2 main modes to beat it, but I expect to see it probably game 1, and then he might realize that it's bad game 2 and not bring it game 2, and then bring... I'm more scared of the other shit, right? So yeah, I think Dozogiri... I would actually not mind not seeing it, because it lets me just play better into the other stuff instead of having to waste... you know, turns predicting, going for Haze on turns I think it might switch in and shit like that. I expect to see Flutter Mane for sure. Grimmsnarl probably. Rayquaza 100%. He's very adamant that Airlock is a good ability. Let's look at the weather teams he's played. This is Calyrex Shadow. This is Terapagos. He did beat Sun. And this is no weather. Trenton Thunderous is nothing. So he did beat the Sun team. He beat one of the 2 Sun teams. So he has currently 1-0 against weather. This is the real test, because this is a good weather team, and with a good player piloting it. I will say, a little bit of pre-Johnning, I have not prepped as much, knowing that I'm guaranteed top 4, or not guaranteed top 4, but guaranteed top 8 at least, probably top 4 with the way the season's been going. So I've not prepped as much as I should have, or at least I would have if I was not in this position, but I've basically arrived at the first team that I feel is good enough to win consistently. So yes, expect these 3 100%. You know, this guy should come. Then if it's Dozogiri, that's great. I could also see maybe if there's no Grimmsnarl, maybe this guy comes. I also think he might try and get cheeky with it and bring Lantern. So I could actually see something like this coming. No Dozogiri. I would not mind not seeing the Dozogiri. The Lantern is annoying, but not good, I think, is really what it boils down to. I definitely have ways to beat it. It's just actually kind of just Serena, which is like coming to, I think, almost 100% of matchups, because Serena is a physical attacker that hits Flutter Mane. I might change my moves around, because I'm not certain, but it also is really good into Rotom, and it's really good into this. So Serena's just, and it also blocks priority for these 2, which is really good. And if Dozo's there, you know, Grass type for Dozo, that's great too. All right, we can take a look at what we've done. We're starting off with Illumise, which is the fastest Pokemon I have here at 115 speed. I actually have them organized in speed order. Tomba surely will not figure that out, but I can, you know, easily reference my speeds by just looking at the Pokemon. The reason for that is because I have Brick Break, and, you know, he's got Screens Guy, so I want the Brick Breaker to remove before anything else. Even Overquill, I felt like it's a little bit like weird that she wanted to do this, but if I have these 2 on the field, that probably means either Rain isn't up. I don't think this ever happens regardless, but if in that case, Rain would not be up. But I can Brick Break and remove the screens. I also have Charm, which is just good for Dozo, not Kingambit. Don't ever click it. First of all, it's actually not that bad to click it into Kingambit, because it would just be a dead turn. It's a Dark type. But if it had Terra, don't want to do that. Rayquaza is the other one. Thing is that Rayquaza will be able to E-Speed first, but if it's going for, you know, a Dragon Ascent into Serena or something, right? If I have Serena on the field, or if he's scared of Serena switching in, I can drop it first. Then Fake Tears for special defense drops, which is benefits Zapdos, Arch, and Kyogre. Then Tailwind last move, just to make everybody fast. My min speed is 111, which is, you know, obviously, as everybody knows, Flutter Mane can hit 205, so faster than that, but it's really for Tatsugiri. Choice Scarf hits 220, 111 doubles to 222, so faster than that. Everybody here is faster than that under Tailwind, which is good. Covert Cloak, because I think Fake Out on Grim is more likely than Taunt, because I think he might hyperfixate on Scarf Kyogre with Water Spout, and the easiest way to stop that is with Fake Out, because he obviously can't protect. I do have Serena, so he's probably not going to like go crazy hard in it on it, but he knows I'm not going to be Terra Ghost, so I think he might tech Fake Out on. So Covert Cloak more likely. I do still have the Terra Dark just for, you know, taunt. I should just be faster than Grimmsnarl, so even if I don't Terra, I can get at least one turn off. Yes, that's very good. Honestly, I am thinking about just going back to the Ghost anyway, just for E-Speed, but that's... I've got until tomorrow to decide that, so maybe not. Next up is Overquill. It's a bit riskier than I've done in the past. I've got Gunk Shot, which is a 20% chance to miss, unlike the Poison Jab that I've gone for almost every week. But the damage in this matchup is just too good to not pass up. If we look at the Tatsugiri, well, it doesn't kill Tatsugiri. Oh, it's got Reflect Up? Dude, this is ridiculous. Let's put Rayquaza in. Rayquaza. If I Terra Poison, I should kill... Not this Rayquaza. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like maybe 68. It was the Rayquaza that's outspeeding Timid Kyogre, you know, if they go Jolly, right? And if they're Jolly with a Life Orb, how much HP do I have? 212. 4. I should live that. Maybe not necessarily after my Life Orb chip, but if, you know, obviously they could just be not Life Orb. And then I live one even after like 2 turns of Life Orb chip, which is really good. Obviously Fluttermane, it's not even weak to poison, but it still just dies to unterrad poison. And then the Terra is that I can kill. It's not going to be this bulky. It's probably going to be about that at most, right? It'd be like 252 because my team's not that physical. Should kill like any Fluttermane through the Reflect, which also means that, you know, obviously Fluttermane can go up to 307 right there. If we go put the Rain in, we are not faster than that, but if we have Rain and Tailwind, which is never going to really happen. But obviously I can just never get faster than 307, so that's... Wait, what about... Fluttermane, just enough to get booster speed. 282? How... I just have like no speed, right? Or 114. 114 doubles 2, not enough, right? Yeah, I would need... Actually, it's like a little mix-up number. That's funny. But there's no way I'm going to get to that point. Throat Chop is, you know, obviously Fluttermane can have Perish Song, probably not going to run it. Grimmsnarl can have Parting Shot, might run it. Is there another one? Is there another sound move on the team? I think those are the two. But the big one actually is that I can hit Kingambit without worrying about giving it a defense drop and boosting its attack. So, you know, better than Crunch in this matchup, I think. And then Haze, obviously, for Dozo. If it switches in, I'll be faster than it under Rain or Tailwind. Can haze away the boosts. And then also I can interestingly haze away my Draco Meteor drops for my own Arch. And it's always nice to have your hazer faster than the guy with Draco, because if it's slower, you know, you have to Draco and then haze on the same turn, and then there's the risk that this guy would get killed. And then yeah, you don't want the guy to get killed because then you've wasted both turns. Whereas if I'm faster, at the start of the next turn I can just haze before. That's only notable when there's no Rain Up, because for Rain Ups, Overquill is just like ridiculously fast, faster than everything on my team. Next up we have Zapdos. Oh, Terra Poison it was just for the offense here, but Terra Poison here is for the defense. It'll resist Fairy from these top two. And that's kind of it. Maybe Steel is better. Yeah, Steel, I think I'll do Steel here. It'll keep my Steel resist, keep my Flying resist. And the team just doesn't hit Steel types that well. So yeah, I'll do Terra Steel Zapdos. If there's a rogue Ice move, yeah, I guess any of the water types could have an Ice move, so Steel is just better. Thunderbolt, Hurricane, Roost, Protect. The speed is... I actually have negative IV on the speed to make it speed tying with Overquill. Basically because I want it faster than... I don't necessarily need it faster than Serena. Is it important that it's faster than Serena? I'd actually kind of rather have it slower than Serena, wouldn't I? Does it matter where it is? Oh, no, I guess I can speed tie Arch. So yeah, we'll drop it to 112, and then I'll move it down here, but I'll keep talking about it. Yeah, it really is just sort of a bulky attacker. Thunderbolt, I also kind of want to do leftovers. I think a lot of this bulk was optimized for leftovers. Thunderbolt, Hurricane, Roost, Protect. You know, just it doesn't hit anything particularly like for one-shots, but it also just doesn't ever get one-shotted itself. We got a Fluttermane in there already. Let's put Zapdos in week 7. I'll make this Terra Steel because that's what it actually is. Like, not dying to 2 Shadow Balls. Let's put leftovers in. Yeah, guaranteed, or good chance to 3-hit KO. Possible 6-hit KO. If it's specs. Guaranteed 2-hit KO. If this was citrus, would we live too? 98% chance to 2-hit KO. It doesn't change that. Rayquaza should be doing like not that much to us. This leftovers change this. 1% chance to 3-hit KO. I think it was guaranteed 4-hit KO with the other ones, so that doesn't change much. Let's put in King Gambit. I think this is the one that if we take the black glasses off, because it's probably gonna be like Assault Vest. Guaranteed 3-hit KO after leftovers. We put Citrus on. Guaranteed 3-hit KO. Citrus doesn't change a thing, so let's just put Citrus back on. It's the burst is just probably better in a long game. I did put Roost. I could have a secondary Tailwind setter, and maybe that's better. Actually, you know what? I think it might be. Let's put Tailwind just in case we don't feel like bringing Illumise. I kind of think it's fine either way, I think, but I think the Tailwind's probably better than, you know, going for a Zapdos endgame, because there are just some things on this team Zapdos does not beat. Like, Volt Absorb Lantern, we just don't beat, if that's what it is. Rotom, we'd have to hit a lot of Hurricanes outside of Rain. And he's hitting us for neutral. Next up, we can talk about Serena. Serena is actually, like, my only Pokemon that deals with Volt Absorb Lantern. It actually is kind of ridiculous how well it does into... Oh, I guess Overquill, if I hit 2 Gunk Shots, will do it. And Arch can do it with Fake Tears support. But this is, like, my most consistent way. But it does really fucking well in that matchup. Serena's actually, like, really awkwardly good. It's a physical attacker for Flutter Mane. Obviously, it'll be faster than non-booster energy under Tailwind. You know, not a special attacker, so doesn't really care about Grimmsnarl. I got a low kick with King Gambit's name on it, and potentially Terra No More Rayquaza. Or Terra Steel. This is the one that maybe Terra Poison's better. No, I want to resist flying, so Terra Steel. Yeah, we Terra Steel, bop triple Axle onto a Rayquaza. Will be faster under Tailwind. He can extreme speed us because of Queenly Majesty. And if it Terra Normals, we'll have a low kick with his name on it. Great to Dozo because it's a grass type, forces him to Terra Grass, which makes him weak to, you know, poison and ice and flying and all the types that I covered for. You know, I knew Terra Grass would be common into me, so I grabbed a poison type, I grabbed a flying type. And then obviously Kyogre can run ice moves. And then, you know, just incredible wall into these two, right? It'll just never lose a 1v1 to Rotom and Lantern, and probably Tatsugiri either. So yeah, that's good. Loaded Dice, I would love to do Wide Lens, but I'm already running on Kyogre for Origin Pulse, so I figured Loaded Dice is the next best thing. And we have it speed tying, it's actually no, it's in between this tier. I decided to make Zapdos slower because if I get through 4 hits Bullet Seed, it might come just short of killing something, so I can actually double into like Flutter Mane with Bullet Seed and then Thunderbolt. If it gets 5, it'll kill the Flutter Mane, and then the Thunderbolt targets the other thing. If it gets 4, Zapdos will finish it off. I also want it to be faster than Arch because I can Bullet Seed my own Arch and get a Body Press damage boost. That's a nice segue into Arch. We're running Draco Meteor, Electroshot, Heavy Slam, Body Press. At first, it was actually instead of Electroshot, I was running Flash Cannon for the dual Steel moves. But really, the only thing that's better into is Grimmsnarl. Electroshot's just better into almost everything else because, like, these 3 down here resist Steel. Obviously, this resists Electric too, but Electroshot is stronger than Flash Cannon just in base power, and that it's giving me +1. The +1's basically analogous to Stab, so it's really this. It's just second Draco Meteor that doesn't drop me. It just fucking obliterates Toxapex. It's better in Tatsugiri and Dozo because they both resist Steel. This also resists Steel. It's my best move into this if it's Terra Ghosted. Or if my Body Press is not boosted, it probably still does. No, Body Press is unboosted, it's still probably way better. Yeah. Draco Meteor should always kill Rayquaza. Basically, the idea is it's just one of my favorite Pokemon because, you know, if I've dropped my special attack, I can now click Heavy Slam or Body Press. I can Electroshot once before Draco Meteoring. It's just, there's so much to do with this guy. Ideally, Terra Steel would be the Terra type here too, because this team just doesn't hit Steel types that well. Is there actually a reason to do Poison over Steel? What is Poison good for that Steel isn't? They both resist Fairy. Oh, Poison is giving me a fighting resist if the King Gambit has like low kick, or I guess Armor can have like Aura Sphere. So this will give me a Poison resist. So it's a little bit better here, but I do like the other two having steel, and then this one's obviously for offense, so it's got to be poison, which this team does not hit poison types, aside from the Armorers, which is not coming into a rain team. Yeah, speed 112, just slow, speed tank Zapdos, but that's actually fine. These two don't really care. And awkwardly, the slowest guy on my team is Kyogre at just 111. I do want Kyogre to be the slowest because we do have this wide lens Origin Pulse, and normally I like Kyogre to be faster when I'm running Origin Pulse, because if I miss, I can just double in and then the other guy auto targets. But in this case, because I'm running wide lens, Origin Pulse actually becomes more accurate than things like Draco Meteor, Triple Axle, and obviously Gunk Shot, right? Gunk Shot's only 80. So this is a 93% accurate move, I think. So we go 8.5 times 1.1. Yeah, 93.5. I'm just going to put my faith in that 93 move to hit. So what I would want to do is I'd want to kill something with the partner and then make Origin Pulse single target. I think could be more important than it missing. Terra Electric just gives me a resist to... It's one of the only types that resists... I think it's probably the only type that resists both flying and electric. So if we think about it, the types that resist would be steel for flying. Steel, rock, and electric. I remember from using Talonflame back in Gen 6. I'd run Steel Wing just to hit rock types, and then obviously Flare Blitz hits the other two for at least neutral. Steel Wing for rock types. So among those types, obviously not going to be rock with 4 water types and a grass type and a steel type. So between steel and electric I felt was better because it'll resist the electric, and I can power up my Thunderbolt, which is not amazing, but it'll hit Dozo and Toxapex, and it will become stronger into Tatsugiri. Yeah, and I guess I can hit around Wide Guard with my Bolt Beam. That's the team. Like I said earlier, I feel like this is not the best team I could run in this matchup, but I feel like it's good enough to win against most iterations. So we'll have to see what happens. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be playing tomorrow. All right, let me... Oh, I need to pull up the sheet. Let's see. Fluttermane, Rayquaza, Kingambit. Yeah, kind of exactly what I expected. No Lantern is... Yeah, that's fine. No Toxapex expected. Yeah, it's kind of like the exact 6 that I prepped into. GLHF. Alright, Steel Rayquaza, Fire Tatsu. Wait, it's Tatsu but no Toso. I didn't notice that. That's funny. Okay, I'm fine with that. Oh, it's Storm Drain. It's Storm Drain. I only have 1 water move on the team, and it can't be redirected, so I'm fine with that. Do I just lead these 2? No, because he's got Rayquaza. I think I'll roll with these 4. Alright, let's see. B-Movie and Flushed Away coming in. Raymond comes in. And Tatsugiri Droopy comes in. Tailwind. Then Ice Beam, I guess? I mean, I could just Tailwind Protect. I don't mind Tailwind Protect. Yep, hell yeah. Okay, I'm faster than it. Switch. Now my question is it gonna Terra? If it does Terra Steel... Steel. Where the hell is Steel? There it is. If it Terra Steels... Origin Pulse is like half. Maybe Switch is not the play then. But, I mean, this guy's doing nothing. Do I die to crit E-Speed with Kyogre? Crit. Just don't edit. I want to crit. I mean, I don't edit to crit E-Speed. I think I'm fine to just switch Terra Ice Beam. Okay. Oh my god, he put all of his boosts into the one Rayquaza which just died. Because the thing is, next turn I would have had low kick if he Terra Steeled. Then Then I have low kick now for the Terra Steel, 70% with an Origin Pulse. Yeah, kills. Okay, let's Bullet Seed that, and at this point, I guess I'll just Ice Beam. I can Thunderbolt Grimmy. I can Thunderbolt this too. I can just double the Tatsu. Tatsu's just support. Do you kill Tatsu? Bullet Seed's a very good chance to just kill Tatsu. And it's not Defiant. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a kill. T-Bolt's 33%. Let's see, is that AV? Thunderbolt. Yes, it's AV. Yes, it is. Means I can low kick. What Terra type was it? It was water. Low kick should go first. I have Really Majesty. And it's Citrus Berry. Good to know that it's not Clay. Okay. And that probably means it doesn't have any actual attacks. Let's deny those. Alright, now, I'm thinking Rotom lead is kind of likely. So, I mean, I could do Monster House, plus... I think Kyogre Monster House is not the worst. I think I do want the Tailwind, though. I'm fine with these two again. I'm honestly fine with the same set 4. Fluttermane, Grimmy. Now, Tailwind, Origin Pulse, I think. What Terra type is the Fluttermane? It's Dragon. Tailwind Protect? Yeah, Tailwind Protect's fine. Covert Cloak. Sunny Day. Okay, I do not have anything for that. Let's see. It is Booster Speed. I am not faster than Booster Speed Fluttermane, so that was a good play. Let's see. Into Fluttermane if we make it -2. Ice Beam. Yeah, it does that much. Is it Origin Pulse? I mean, this is Sun. I'd love to have a move that boosts. What about Terra Electric? Well, actually, though, it should kill if I do this. Oh, I'm getting -1, though. And I'm slower, we've seen. That's so weak. There's Terra Dragon, but it's faster than the Dragon Cheer guy. Show me Dragon Cheer. Grimby comes in. Let's switch in. Actually, I can just switch Kyogre out. I'll Draco that. Switch you in. Blocked. Sash, good to know. Oh, that's fun. But now I think I just get up Tailwind again. This has not shown Protect. I'll just... What did it show? Dragon Cheer, Helping Hand. I'll just attack that. I'm not actually really worried about the Grimmsnarl, so I'll Tailwind, Bullet Seed. Yep, and I double this. He's used Terra. This is locked up, I think. It's Assault Vest, as we've seen. And that's good games. Well, it might be next turn. There's the Citrus. Yep, gotta take one more turn to do it. Good games. And that concludes week 7 of the ENC Draft League. Next week we're playing Colin, so stay tuned for that. You're not going to want to miss that. It's going to be really fun. It's always fun when we play, so stay tuned. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, take care, and see you next time. Bye-bye.